Sagittarius placement between 11 to 17 degrees in your natal chart, this means that you have gate 5 in human design, which is known as the gate of rhythms, the gate of waiting, the gate of routine, rhythms, and rituals that tell you that you need to stick to your own routine. In this video, we're going to do a deep dive about it. I also have this placement in my human design body graph, and it has helped dramatically change my life, being able to advocate for myself through the lens of gate 5, which sits in the sacral center, all about gut instinct and being able to prioritize that. So even if you don't have this gate placement, you want to look at when we have a gate 5 transit, which is about the first week of December, rather, every year, and being able to ground in that energy is super important. My name is Brenna. If you're new here, I'm a human design reader, astrologer, and psychic medium of 10 years teaching you how to break down all of these transits in a way that makes actual practical sense so that you can apply this information in an actual practical way. And so when we're looking at gate 5, you're going to see it in the second square up in your natal chart, or your human design body graph, rather. You can get a free copy at the show notes below so you can see if you have it, or if you know somebody who does have it. Going to be super important so you understand how they operate. Or if you know somebody that has gate 15, they're the opposite. They're the gate of extremes. They're people that will take you out of your routine, so paying attention to that as well. But with gate 5, some of the core understandings of this gate placement are pretty straightforward. You have a very specific way that you like to go about your days, your routines, your schedule. If you're a generator or a manifesting generator, excuse me, it may change based on the season of the year. So being able to pay attention to, well, for the spring, I operate one way. For the winter, I operate another way. Maybe I sleep in a little bit later during the winter time. I know that's me with a gate 5, and I actually prefer to be able to work throughout longer periods of the night. The night before this video, I didn't sleep until 4 o'clock in the morning, or this morning, I should say. So following that routine and not letting yourself feel guilty about it. Now, it's how we set ourselves up for success and optimizing that routine by expressing that we need to stick to our routine so that other people get the best version of us, and we can prioritize our own well-being. What I see a lot of gate 5 people doing, and I've been talking about this with somebody recently in my mentorship and in Patreon, is that with their gate 5, they found themselves often saying yes to things that actually they knew would take them out of their routine, because they didn't realize how routine oriented they actually were. It's actually so close to the fire for them, especially if it's your Sagittarius moon placement. That's a gate 5, your big 3. It's oftentimes we're so close to the fire that we don't realize that, oh yeah, I actually do really have to pay attention to the fact, like, I like a long morning. And if I am planning all of these things and want to do all of these things, because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter after all, it's a little bit of that like idealism that will start to get you mucked up and actually more exhausted, because you're really quick to drop your routines when other people, like if they present something exciting to you, you want to be a part of that plan or go to that dinner party, for example. But if it's really going to take you out of your normal daily routine for this time in your life, you want to be able to say no and prioritize effectively, or know when you have your true windows of time to be able to understand what is your schedule really looking like. Now, if you are a woman that has a period, I also recommend knowing and understanding the book Woman Code. If you also have this placement, that's linked in my show notes below. And I also talked about that in my last 2 videos for the do and don'ts of the week ahead based on the astrology and human design, because that will also help you to understand what are some of the hormonal cycles, or the way that I feel, my cat jumping down in the background, to be able to allow myself to understand this is what I need to prioritize. This is the way that I'm feeling. This is what's going to make me feel a little bit better in my routine, or being able to prioritize my routine and my energy a little bit more effectively, because I know what's going to happen during the first week, during the second week, so on and so forth. A couple other of the notes that I wrote here is that it is incredibly destabilizing to you if you have to deviate from your routine. Learning to say no and being disruptive, like, it's so important, because it's going to be disruptive to you and others if you don't. You're going to ruin your reputation. I know that sounds so dramatic, but it really is true. Like, if you want to be known for somebody who's reliable, you have to know that you are relying and understanding that you have to teach people how to treat you in respecting your boundaries. Gate 15 people are the ones that are unpredictable. I've had quite a few gate 15 people in my life. And so knowing that they don't really follow a true routine, but I do, has helped me to work on my relationships with them more effectively. So just a couple cliff notes for gate 5 and talking about that. I also am going to read to you from Chetan Parkin's book, as I usually do, before we get into the exaltations and the detriments of each of the 6 profile lines, or the different specific breakdowns in your human design body graph in which gate 5 can be represented. So he calls it the gate of waiting. You are someone whose nature has the knack of right timing if you exercise patience. Gate 5 asks you to become comfortable with biding your time, waiting for opportune moments. When you learn to trust your authority, you'll align yourself with universal timing and know the right moment to act. That need to wait can generate a restlessness that craves action or worries that something may or may not happen. You can feel the potential of what can be done and just can't wait for the starting gun to sound. I can't stand all this waiting around. Should I be doing something? Can be a common voice of frustration. But waiting is a part of your nature, so honor and relax. Gate 5 also has its finger on the natural pulse of timing for the seasons, and you might well have green fingers, which are adept at gardening. You may also like to you may also notice rather that you can adopt certain routines in life. And if you are someone who needs to have a cup of tea first thing in the morning, that is what needs to happen before you can do anything else. A routine leads you to keep up with the natural rhythms that maintain your momentum. Like you, the universe has its routines, and I'm reminded of a Japanese haiku which you can assimilate while you wait. Sitting silently, doing nothing, spring comes, and the grass grows by itself. So just wait, trust the innate timing, and set your intentions on long term goals and fall back on the reassuring confidence that matters will produce in their own time. I often find, including myself, that like usually as people who have this placement, we go through spurts. And what you do in those waiting moments and keeping your micro routine so that when the unexpected happens, as it often does, you're able to hit the ground running and it's not as destabilizing because you've allowed yourself to stay grounded in your routines and your habits and doing the mundane. There's so much beauty in focusing on the mundane and the daily habits of life and our routines and exercising and eating properly that really create a much more effective way of being. So paying attention to that, being able to keep your routines grounded is important. And these are some of my notes that I took when I was marinating and distilling and dissecting the languaging of all of the Gate 5 descriptions for the first line, second line, so on and so forth. If you want to get a copy of one of my prime sources that I use the Book of Destinies. That's also linked in the show notes below. So if you have Gate 5 in the first line, this is known as the line of perseverance, perseverance, and it can take on one of two connotations, either being able to keep true to yourself by maintaining your routines or always leaving your routines behind when someone else has a different one. If you have Gate 2 in the second line, it's known as inner peace. So you can either prioritize your peace and are okay with your routine, or you're somebody who can deter or defer to thinking that calm is wrong and boring so that you create chaos, especially if your nervous system is dysregulated. Now, if you have Gate 5 in the third line, this is known as the line of compulsiveness. So you can be somebody that's always allowing your imagination to get your head in the game for whatever action you'd like to take, like visualizing your new fitness routine and being able to think about and watch all of the mukbangs on YouTube about like healthy eating and picky plates or a plowman's lunch, things along those lines that also are things that can be a part of your world when you're looking to get into a dietary headspace and obsessing in that world to be able to strike while the iron's hot and take the action. Knowing your personal limits is important, like not being a morning person. I'm not a morning person. I don't pretend to be. Maybe one day I will be, but pretty much probably not going to be true of my 31 years of life not having been a morning person. In the detrimented aspect, it can be unable to admit to yourself what your own true routine is, which creates stress and anxiety for yourself and other people. Gate 5 in the fourth line is known as the line of the hunter. So you are somebody who can make the most out of whatever you have. So if you have, being able to have, there was a mom I saw that had a Chipotle bowl for her 4 kids, and because they were children, they're not going to all eat the Chipotle bowl or like be able to finish one whole one each individually themselves. So she got tortillas and gave them a big scoop of everything and then extra sour cream so that they could share it. And that's an example of this gate placement to make the most out of what you have. Or being somebody that ignores your needs and creates a detrimental outcome like not resting and becoming sick. Those are so important. It's even more destabilizing to you than the average person, for example, when you go against resting. Gate 5 in the fifth line is known as the line of joy, so remaining calm no matter what the circumstances, or dismissing joy and perpetuating the belief that consistent negativity is normal. We don't like a pessimist. This is about being joyful and finding the joy no matter what and fighting for your right to be joyful. Last but not least is Gate 5 in the sixth line, known as the line of yielding. And it's a general understanding, being in your role model energy, that you should maintain your routine because life is unexpected. That being a core core red thread that's run through the explanation of this gate placement. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you like to support me and this channel, a subscription or clicking subscribe and turning on that notification bell, liking this video, sending it to a loved one, this video to a loved one, someone that you know that would benefit from understanding more about their gate 5, that would mean the world to me. I appreciate you helping me help you in supporting your human design journey and experiment. And if you know or have any questions, you can write them in the comments below. I will see you in the next one.